Jonathan Hefney wraps him up. Yeah, the Bombers last year, year before, had the sack leader in Philip Hunt. Now making a living in the United States playing ball. And Odell Willis had 13 last year, 55 in total for the Bomber front line. And they miss an Odell Willis, who they traded to Saskatchewan, of course. And of course, Doug Brown on the interior, the perennial all-star, future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, the one guy who's picked up the slack a little bit, Bryant Turner, a guy who I think has become a real force, arguably the best pass rushing defensive tackle in the CFL right now.
2nd and 2 for Boyd. And he hits a fumbled football. Do the Blue Bombers have it? Boyd met a gold stone wall, driven back, and the grapple for the football. Cedric Gagne-Marcoux was able to come up with the loose football. There is no signal on possession. It looks like the Argos have recovered.
Boyd took it cleanly from his quarterback, but you see as he tried to cut behind the guard, Andrew Jones, got it caught on number 64's caboose.
How about Cedric Gagne-Marcoux? He jumped on that baby, wouldn't let it go. So it's 3rd down now. Saw the measurement, 3rd and a yard. The first real true gamble of this ball game. Scott Milanovich. Again, Jarius Jackson behind center. It's a long yard here. Jackson goes forward, and the spot should be good enough for a 1st down. It's probably one of the most ungrateful jobs in football, being that short yardage quarterback. But when you have someone who can do that, Alex Brink used to do that with excellent efficiency. Jarius Jackson has become one of those guys.
Yeah, he really has, and a guy who's got a great feel for it. May not get a lot of snaps in a ball game, and as you said, it's ungrateful. You're the guy who gets put in there because the quarterback's going to get hit on this play,
yeah,
and we don't want it to be the other guy.
You're going to get pasted. 1st and 10. The 43. Ricky Ray pulls it back on the play action, and this ball is picked off by Dustin Doe, who gets knocked down by Ricky Ray. Otherwise, he had a pick 6. And the quarterback stands in the way and prevents a touchdown after another Toronto Argonaut turnover.
Well, having already given up 14 off turnovers in this ball game, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers look to put up a few of their own right here. The ball is tipped near the line of scrimmage by the halfback, Johnny Sears. It's the man in contain. Good job to get the hands up, and Dustin Doe just runs under it like a center fielder. It probably could have looked like Dustin Doe actually tripped over the legs of his teammate, Johnny Sears.
Dustin Doe, Ricky Ray, last man standing. Johnny Sears actually knocked him down, and then, hey, you're right, he got tripped up by Johnny Sears, but Ricky Ray was at least in the way. 2 turnovers apiece here tonight in a 3rd quarter that has been all defense. Nothing like the first half where we saw some offense. Only had 3 first downs over 11 minutes.
And what would a play in this ball game be, or a series at least, without another Bomber going off injured? As their string of bad luck continues.
Hardest working Blue Bombers so far has been their trainer, trying to get everybody back on the field. So Alex Brink now instant field position after that interception. Return inside the 15. Brink looks end zone, corner route, Denmark can't catch up to it. Watched by Ahmad Carroll. So 2nd down now, another throwing down. for this Blue Bomber team. Not very good numbers offensively here on both sides. Bombers look to find the house. Brink leaping high in the air, and again another incomplete pass. Alex Brink knocked down, and so the best that the Bombers are going to get from this turnover, a field goal to inch closer.
And you're going to see the pressure come quickly off both edges. Ricky Foley from one side, Patrick Watkins from the other. It's going to force Brink to throw early. Bomber receivers have got to break off their routes. The quick throw, but not able to be a clean throw as Foley got there that fast.
Justin Pilardi, very good so far this season. 7 for 8. 2 of 2 here tonight. 3 for 3. The Bombers creep a little closer. Down 2 now at Rogers Center in Toronto on TSN. Our team defensively over the first 3 weeks. They've allowed a lot of points, worst in the CFL. It's been a battle of defensive masters in this one tonight.
Well, Tim Burke seems to have his group fully tuned in for this ball game. Limiting the big plays that had plagued them, getting a little bit of pressure on Argo quarterback Ricky Ray as well. Fighting through the fatigue of 4 straight on the road.
And again, the Achilles heel for the Bombers this season. Their letdowns in the first halves where they've had to play catch-up all year. They're in a tight one here. Finally, for once, Chad Owens got head on and pushed back again. And a lot can be said, too, about the Blue Bombers' special teams. And a great job putting number 2 in their crosshairs tonight. Ricky Ray chats with Scott Milanovich again.
And Scott Milanovich talked a little bit yesterday about the sideline relationship that he's had with his veteran quarterbacks of the last 2 years. Anthony Calvillo, of course, in Montreal for the last 4 seasons. Now Ricky Ray in Toronto. Said Anthony really didn't say much on the sidelines. That was a tough edge to crack. Ricky's a little bit more vocal over there.
Ricky Ray on the wall, looking, and finds Jason Barnes for the first time tonight. It's a first down. Well, Ricky Ray's been known, like Anthony Calvillo, for being that composed guy, cool as the other side of the pillow, and shown it through the years. I thought Scott Milanovich had a great quote yesterday, what he learned from Mark Trestman, and that he said that, you know, great players want to be coached too. Coach them all the same way.
Yeah, it's not about playing favorites. It's not about using kid gloves with your stars. If a guy does something wrong, you tell him and correct it. Make them all better players.
Again, out to the flat for Barnes. Barnes trying to make one move, tripped up to the 50, and still battling for more yardage. So now trying to get in sync again for a guy he's came into Toronto with knowing the best. Jason Barnes, their years, of course, in Edmonton together. Last year, Jason Barnes almost 900 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. On the receiving end of a lot of Ricky Ray passes.
We've seen Barnes catch back-to-back balls here against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a team against whom he had some success last season. 198 yards through 2 meetings with the Bombers in 2011.
Hand off to Boyd on second down, and once again the Bombers do a good job stuffing the Argos run game. Terrell Parker makes the hit.
Parker, number 27, in at that will linebacker spot, steps up and fills the hole, wraps up Corey Boyd. Great job shedding the block, and there he goes.
See if the Bombers send some bodies at Swayze Waters or set up a return. They'll set up the return. Waters spiraling kick way out of bounds, and again that will be a 10-yard penalty because the ball went out of bounds in the air between the 20-yard line. So pretty good field position again, but both teams having trouble moving the football, and their punters are getting a lot of work here in this third quarter.
A 2-point ball game.
Illegal punt out of bounds. Toronto, number 30. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's a third quarter that's just begging for one big play.
Argos have been involved in a couple of close ones so far. One where Noel Prefontaine won against Calgary. It might come down to the kickers tonight. Close ball game. Now Chad Simpson. Ejiro Kowale with the tackle. So too Pat Watkins. Simpson comes up limping again. Looks like he may have cramped up earlier, and you talked about it. A guy who hasn't played yet this year, getting a lot of action in the heat here tonight.
Well, it takes a little while to get in game shape. Football's one of those things where no matter how much you run, no matter how much time you spend lifting, there's no way to get ready to play football other than to play football.
Second down conversion, and almost intercepted. Alex Brink and Ahmad Carroll almost had another turnover here, and so another turn for the punter with 16 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Both teams struggling to move the football, and credit the defenses. Chad Owens, who scored earlier for the Argos, touchdown tonight, found the end zone, first time receiving a couple seasons. He makes one miss here, goes to the sideline, and again contained very well. Clock has ticked down to zeros. That is the final play of the third quarter. One quarter remains. Maybe more here tonight. Who knows? 2-point game. Low scoring third quarter. Only the field goal on the board. We got a tight one here heading to the fourth at Rogers Center.
Well, we've got 34 points up in this football game. Not a high scoring game by any stretch of the imagination. Half those points coming directly off turnovers. You're seeing two teams offensively, especially in the third quarter, having a lot of trouble getting things going, and I can't help the feeling that maybe a turnover is what's ultimately going to decide this thing in the fourth.
Yeah, we can talk all we want about defense, and let's face it, the defenses have played very well tonight, but there hasn't been a lot of execution on both sides on the offensive side of the ball, and these are two teams that haven't scored a lot of points this season either. No,
you're absolutely right, and yes, it's still early in the season, and so you're seeing that offensively. Teams haven't necessarily hit their stride, but really struggling with execution, and that may be a factor of the short week as well in terms of teams not necessarily being as well game planned as they'd like.
So another long field for the Argos here. Ricky Ray inside his 20. Play action. Can't find anybody. Now out of the backfield, Corey Boyd would have had to use that good vertical. Could not leap for it. And Ricky Ray's seen his numbers tail off by quarter. What he did in the first half. And his percentage has also decreased.
Yeah, the third quarter, a somewhat painful one for both teams. No doubt Scott Milanovic is looking for a strong finish from his team. The ability to finish football games, particularly here at home.
Second down and 10 now. Bombers rush 4. Ray again having trouble finding a receiver. It's Jason Barnes. And again they connect. There's a penalty flag. Just as Barnes was going down, tackled by Johnny Sears.
That penalty flag came behind the play, possibly an illegal block. It's a matter of whether it came after the first down was achieved or not.
Right there.
Blocking below the waist after a forward pass across the line of scrimmage. Toronto, number 54. Distance had been gained. 10 yards from where the ball was held. First down, Toronto.
So it will be first down again, but after this.
And Chris Van Zyl is going to come from the left side of your screen. He's looking to get a block on Jason Vega. There's Van Zyl. There's Vega. And instead of taking him up high with an earhole shot, he goes low. Illegal to go low after that forward pass caught.
So basically a reboot back to where they were before. First down. Corey Boyd into a maze. 2 or 3 yards. Hostilities increase a little bit on that O-line. Corey Boyd not having the success he had certainly against the Hamilton Tiger Cats only 4 short days ago. And again, we keep harping on it and bringing it back, but it is true that short work week affects preparation, and mostly it affects body recovery.
Yeah, you talk to coaches in a short week like this and you ask them what is your priority, what do you focus on, and they'll tell you to a man the biggest thing is just getting your players physically ready to play again.
Ray, deep drop, deep ball, looking for Spencer Watt, who can't catch up with it. Ray bombs away.
Dion Beasley had great coverage on the play. Got himself in position where he walled Spencer Watt off from the football.
So a recurring theme here, another kick from Swayze Waters in his first CFL game. Damon Washington back near his 45-yard line. Bombers could get some good field position here. Waters is averaging almost 42 yards a punt in his first game. This is a good one here. Sends Washington back to his 32-yard line. Now finds a seam, Damon Washington, and finds some blue jerseys. 54-yard kick by Swayze Waters. So Alex Brink also trying to get his offense in rhythm here. Let's go down to the sideline once again and join Sarah Orlesky. Sarah?
Well, Rod, injuries obviously being the theme with the Bombers this evening, and I asked one of them whether or not they remember a time where they had seen so many players go down with injuries in one game, and they said, yeah, easily. Last year here, September 24th against the Argos, they lost 7 players in that game to injuries, including Fred Reed and Carl Volney to ACL injuries. They were done for the season. They also lost Buck Pierce, Alex Brink, Doug Brown. The list went on and on.
And off to Nathan Rivas. So Rogers Center has become Medical Center. Bombers rash of injuries, and as if they needed any more. Again, so many to start this season. What a hole to climb out of for Paul LaPolice and the Blue Bombers.
Well, it certainly has been. You know, as the saying goes, everybody keeps pointing out how BC got off to a slow start and went on to win the Grey Cup last year, but Paul LaPolice told us, regardless of that, there's not a coach in the world who wouldn't rather be 3-0.
Here's the rush. Brink stands in. Knocked down. Good defensive play. Clarence Denmark couldn't haul it in. Batted down nicely. So again, another incomplete pass.
Well, with the Bombers struggling to get that passing game going, the one thing that's been a positive for them offensively has been the run game with Chad Simpson, but it does seem as if Simpson has been slowed by that calf injury again, whether it is a cramp or something else. But it's really limited them offensively here in the second half.
Renault, Chad Owens comes forward, fumbled the football, no flag on the play. Javon Johnson recovers. Chad Owens tried to induce a no yards call. It backfired. The Bombers have the football when we come back. Very aggressive return attempt by Chad Owens, known for this, coming forward to the football. This time it went wrong.
Yeah, and Chad Owens is doing absolutely the right thing, moving forward to catch this football in the air. That's just the execution of what he's doing that he struggles with. Doesn't catch it cleanly, creates a turnover, and the reward on the other side goes to Javon Johnson, who, a guy best known as a special teams guy, is one of the best